Most people will tend to use HubSpot forms when they're managing their events inside of HubSpot. And that's a no-no because it doesn't tile back to the event. But when you event happily, you've got everything that you need using registrant-based forms. What we're looking at right now is an event satisfaction property that's on our Happily registrant. When we create a registrant, what we want to do is we want to fill out this record ID for forms with the record ID of the registrant that was created. And you could do that with our workflow that always fires when a new registrant is created. The first thing we do is we copy the record ID into that record ID for forms. HubSpot does not allow you to have the record ID property of any object on a form. So we have to copy that onto its own unique property that requires unique values. And that's what's going to tie that to a specific registrant. No one that's filling out their surveys is going to know what their record ID is. That's why you want to make sure that you automatically populate that property on the HubSpot form. We're going to use query parameters to automatically populate form fields. So we look at this record ID for forms. What you could do in the URL is add a query, so the question mark, type the API name of this particular field, record underscore ID underscore forms equals, we're going to put 1, 2, 4, 5. You could add another property if you were going to autofill email, autofill name by doing the ampersand and then doing another field and a value. But let's hit enter and see what happens. Wow. Automatically populates that value. Now we want to set this URL onto the registrant object so that after an event, potentially their status gets changed to attending, you can send out an email that has a link to their own unique form. In that same registrant created workflow, we're going to set our post-event survey URL. We're going to set it to that share form link and then add our query parameter, record ID for forms, and we're going to set to the record ID. So when someone fills that form out, HubSpot knows to populate all the questions that you ask that are registrant-based properties to fill out that particular registrant object. Now, when we go back to that specific registrant record, we could type in satisfaction, and you could see that it was very satisfied from the general feedback form. Now you can have all the different registrant properties set up for the survey that you want to send, create a unique link by taking that share form URL and appending the record ID for forms and setting that in the workflow as we've seen here so that every single registrant will get their own unique survey form for the given event. And that's just another way you can event happen.